How is it going, everyone? We have got the PlayStation Plus Essential Game Leak for the month of January, and we are kicking off the year with, I want to say a bang, but let's be honest, it's a pretty tepid one, so we'll go over that. I do want to highlight the games leaving PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium on January the 20th, the games that are cycling out. Pretty quiet month, all things considered, but still worthwhile to cover that. And I think next year, 2026, is going to be a big year for Persona. They have launched Atlas, that is, a Persona 30th anniversary website. We'll talk that at the end of this video. But first of all, as noted by Biblikun, who is always on the money when it comes to PlayStation Plus reporting, Need for Speed Unbound will be one of the PlayStation Plus titles for the month of January. If this is the headlining title for the month of January for PS Plus, what a mediocre title that is. I mean, look, PlayStation Plus, as much as I clown on PlayStation Plus Premium, sometimes Extra, it's hit or miss, but PlayStation Plus Essential has been rather good. October, you got Alan Wake 2, Goat Sim 3, Cocoon. November, you got Stray, WRC 24, Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, which that was kind of mid. December, they gave you 5 games with LEGO Horizon Adventures, Neon White, Killing Floor 3, The Outlast Trials, and Sin Duality. Like, more often than not, PlayStation Plus Essentials are bangers after bangers. September, Psychonauts 2, Stardew Valley, Viewfinder. August, Lies of P, DayZ, My Hero One's Justice 2. Like, it is just quality month after quality month when it comes to PlayStation Plus Essential, and sometimes you'll have a mediocre month here and there, but Need for Speed Unbound being the headlining title, I'm sorry, that's a pretty mediocre title. And I thought Unbound was an okay game. Need for Speed, I always think, offers you a decent bit of fun as an arcade racer. The days of Need for Speed being at the level of even like Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, Most Wanted, those days are kind of gone, but do I think that they're fun games? Yeah, but if that's the headlining game, that is disappointing. Unbound would be a fine secondary or tertiary game. I have no issue with that, but given it's an EA title and a relatively big budget EA title, I would have to think that's going to be like the headlining game, which is a little bit mediocre. But hey, sometimes the secondary and tertiary titles end up offering a lot of value, much like in October where you had a game like Cocoon. In September, you had Stardew Valley. In August, you had, DayZ. Like, DayZ was a pretty decent one. King of Fighters 15 was one of them. So there's definitely options for quality titles in terms of secondary and tertiary games, but still, you want something good as a headlining title as well. But nevertheless, that is going to be one of the PS Plus Essential titles. Alright, moving on from that, I do also want to note that for those of you guys that are PS Plus Extra subscribers, it is your final opportunity to play Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name, Monopoly Plus, Sayonara Wild Hearts, SD Gundam Battle Alliance. Those are the 4 games that'll be getting pulled from PlayStation Plus Extra. And remember, Extra is one of those subscription services where the games just rotate. It's not like Essential where you redeem the games and as long as you're a subscriber, those games are in your library. It is very much a case of, those games are just gone. You won't be able to play them unless you buy them again, so bear that in mind. Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name, that is a game that, you could definitely play through it by January 20th. You can play all through all of these games by January 20th. The issue with The Man Who Erased His Name is that game is pretty contingent on you being caught up with Yakuza as a franchise and playing through the other Kiryu titles, so keep that in mind. But yeah, Sayonara Wild Hearts, I would say, is the one standout game here where I would definitely say sit down and go through that if you're into stylish music rhythm games. That's a worthwhile one to go through. But 4 games leaving the service, that's fairly quiet, and hopefully the Extra catalog update will be of quality, given that Essential, based on the leak game, might be a little bit of a lackluster month. But Extra is the service that I think, a lot of the times is hit or miss. But recently speaking, Extra has been pretty good as well. Like last month with Extra, we got Assassin's Creed Mirage, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, Skate Story as a day 1 title, Cat Quest 3, Wolong Fallen Dynasty. Like, there's a lot of quality games getting added to Plus Extra, so hopefully they keep that momentum rolling into January and kick off the year with a bang. And speaking of kicking off the year with a bang, Persona might be doing that as a franchise, as they have kicked off the Persona 30th Anniversary website. That is officially live right now, and the next update will be on January the 8th. I imagine that the 30th Anniversary will bring with it a year of updates. I know a lot of people are getting excited over the potential of a new Persona game announcement. At this point, I would pump the brakes on that. What I would expect is that the first half of the year is going to be building excitement towards Persona 4 Revival, the remake of Persona 4, which I do believe will be out in 2026. Maybe at the latter portion of the year. Hopefully it's out by the fall. I would imagine that this would be the year we are going to be ending the year with the Persona 6 reveal. I mean, it's been 8 years since Persona 5 came out. It's actually going to be 9 years here shortly. And I get that these games take a long time to develop, and Metaphor did come out in 2024. Okay, fine, but Persona 6 has to be making some progress, and I loved Persona 3 Reload. I'm gonna love Persona 4 Revival, but we know that those games aren't the main projects that Atlus have in development, but they're big titles and they're gonna do very well. But at this stage of the game, look, the remakes are nice. I want to hear more about Persona 6 and hear about Persona 6 from the get-go, because I really do believe with all of the goodwill that Persona has built, Persona 6 is going to be an absolute juggernaut of a release. I think people are going to be shocked by the numbers that game pulls on Steam, and I think it's going to be a massive, massive game release that has the potential to really elevate Persona as an IP. I think this is their opportunity to do that. It's not going to be as big as, let's say, what Elden Ring did for Souls-like, but maybe not to that scale, but I do think the next mainline Persona game has the potential of, okay, they've dropped so many quality games. Pretty much every Persona title has been received as a masterclass in JRPG. I foresee that game doing incredibly well and having the potential to raise Persona's profile to the next level, and you want to get that right more than anything, and hopefully we can get that out in 2027. 2027 would be the 10-year mark from when Persona 5 initially came out. Actually, Persona 5, I think it came out in 2016 in Japan, so it would be even more than 10 years over there, and I would imagine that Persona 6 is going to obviously have a worldwide release, as Persona now, at this point, has become a juggernaut of a franchise over here in the States as well. But that's what I would be waiting for. But before we get to Persona 6, I would imagine that Atlus isn't going to want to promote 2 games at the same time, and Sega isn't going to want to promote 2 games at the same time, in the sense of Persona 4 Revival, let people get excited for that, promote that game, get that game out, and maybe a couple months after, if Persona 4 Revival comes out in June, July, by the end of the year, get the reveal for Persona 6, but I think next year makes as much sense as any to finally reveal Persona 6. Like, it has to happen, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it does. But, yeah, long time coming on that one, and I see the potential of Persona 6, as far as it being a commercial juggernaut, to be sky high for, you know, relatively speaking, for Persona as an IP. But that is gonna do it for me. Again, Need for Speed Unbound looks to be one of the PS Plus essential titles for the month of January. Kind of a mid one as far as that's concerned, but hopefully the rest of the catalog is quite good. Games leaving PS Plus Extra in January include Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name, Monopoly Plus, Sayonara Wild Hearts, and SD Gundam Battle Alliance, and Persona has launched a 30th anniversary website. That's gonna do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. As always, sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.